So I would describe Ray as one of the most honest, most hardworking folks that I've ever met. He leads with his heart. He keeps mission front and center, and does like to have fun at work, which always makes some of the more difficult times more bearable.
You know, Ray is probably one of the most supportive and nurturing and caring people I've ever met. He's very passionate about the nonprofit sector. He's very passionate about, the work that he's been committed to, whether it be children, whether it be teen moms, whether it be the general community, homelessness, whatever Ray was working on or tasked with, he's very passionate about. But he's also passionate and nurturing with people. He believes in helping people reach their goals, reach their potential. He's a great person to brainstorm with, to think things through. And he's a type of supportive person where the impact on him, his ego never gets in the way. It's all about who you are as a person and what he can do to uplift you.
I think one of Ray's greatest strengths is he keeps an open mind to everyone and every idea. He's been doing this a long time in many different ways. So he brings a lot of different perspectives. And with his experience, he brings that to the table, but he's always open to have other people come up with an idea, and he doesn't shoot it down, he tries to build on it. So I do think that Ray being open and honest with everybody is one of the greatest strengths.
He is a great listener, but he's also a great thinker. He will help you figure things out. He will help calm you down and see the bigger picture. He's a great coach, and because he believes in people, he believes in your best ability, and he's also very realistic. So of course, when I was off on the deep end thinking the absolute worst, Ray was able to bring me back and focus on the good, what was going right, and then solutions for how we can make the things that weren't going right better. And even when things were out of our control and we couldn't fix it, just having somebody by your side to support you and encourage you was enough to help you get through the tough parts.
Sometimes when I'm in conversation in the building and get ready to go back upstairs to the community impact, I say, well, I got to go make the world a better place. And a lot of times people think I'm joking, but I think that's really true. The work that we do here at Heart of Florida United Way, the nonprofit work, is about making our community a better place. It's about changing people's lives. It's about giving them chances that they've never had. And I'd hope that if we were shoemakers, that I'd work to make really good shoes. The fact that we're about changing our community and changing people's lives is just such a wonderful thing. And I find it so inspiring. And to work with people who are inspired by the same thing is really, really a powerful experience. I'm going through old stuff, and I've been going through old needs assessments, and they're all written different and stuff like that. But the bottom line really comes down to you have a lot of really good people who have trouble making ends meet and just need a little bit of help. It might be because of emergency, it might be kind of an everyday challenge that comes up that they just don't have that emergency fund, and it can really cause them to spiral in a negative direction. If someone could be there to either prevent that time from happening or to help them get past that time, it can make a real difference. What an honor it is to be part of that, right? To be part of changing people's lives, to be part of making, their dreams come true for their children, to help them to avoid having to go through really rough stuff when they could go a different path. To be part of that, who could ask for any more than that?
You really have to be careful mentioning your issues too, because he'll be there to fix them. Like once I was just talking to him and I said, oh no, something's wrong with the toilet in my bathroom. Do you want me to come over and fix it? No, I don't want you, to do that. Or after my mom passed, I was complaining about cleaning out her apartment. Do you want me and Charlie to come over and clean it out? No, I'm just talking to you. And so I have so many instances where Ray was willing to step up and help out and do whatever that needed to be done.
Well, one memory was the first day I met him. I had overlapped with my counterpart, or my predecessor, by 3 weeks.
The former CEO, Bob Brown, I remember hearing him saying, this is Dr. Bell. She's the smartest person in the building. If you need anything, come to her. And then they walk to my office and Bob Brown says,
this is Ray Larsen. He's a Yankees fan.
This is Ray Larsen. He's a Yankee fan. And Jeff's first words to me were,
so I walked over and shook his hand. I said, Ray, nice to meet you. I don't know how to tell you this, but once the season starts, I'm going to have to let you go.
You can stay to spring training and then you're gone.
I can't have you working here during baseball season. After the World Series, you can come back, but once spring training starts, I gotta let you go. But nice to meet you, Ray. And I shook his hand and I walked out the door. And Bob in a church whisper said, I can't believe you did that. I said, Bob, he's a Yankees fan. He has no soul anyway. And we just kept walking. And that was the last time I talked to Ray the whole day. It was my first day.
Probably one of my favorite was, for some reason, we were moving tables from one room all the way to another room, and he forbid me to touch a table. It's like, I can do it. I'm strong. Put that table down. All right, fine. So it's just, the constant support, always willing to lend a helping hand, always willing to do whatever he can, whether you want him to or not. But again, it's appreciated because he's such a good guy.
If I have any wisdom to share, and that is for everyone who's working in the nonprofit area to really understand the professionals they are. People who aren't in nonprofit work think it's easy. They think they could do it as a hobby almost going forward. The truth is that the easy problems are solved by other things. The hard issues in our community come to the nonprofits. And so I think it's really important. It's wonderful to talk about those moments when you see the impact and stuff, but all that is possible because of the work that happens every day. Kind of making the trains on time, scheduled on time, and going forward. And I think I understand better now than I ever have before the importance of running a good business around us to make it possible for the work to be done in the community. It doesn't just happen. It needs a strong business. It needs strong leadership. It needs all those things that any entity that's making a difference has to be. And it can be inspiring to join an organization for the impact that they have in the community. You have to make that translation that means I gotta come to work every day and get things done and get us in a place so that we're here. I think it was Mark Twain who said that real joy comes from being able to do important things with good people. And that's been my experience at Heart of Florida United Way, to be with the greatest people in the world, doing really important work to make our community better. It's such an honor to be part of that and to be part of that team.